So for our third day, we are back in the lab, and today we are prototyping all of our models that we have teased from episode 1. Don't worry if you missed episode 1, you can find it right here. And of course, it's not going to be a build video without a short build montage.
Okay, so we're sanding this down. We just got our foot together, and now the most satisfying part. Look at that.
A few moments later.
So after 2 hours of building, we decided to test our prototype on the force plate first. So pretty much we stood on top of the plate and it measured all the forces and stresses in our prototypes. And with a little spreadsheet magic, you get this mess. I made this and I have no clue what I'm looking at. Okay, now the next part is my absolute favorite because it was motion capture. I thought this was really cool because pretty much it pinpoints where all your joints and how they're all bending, and it even captured my face. Look at it. And just like last time, we had to tape me up again so the system would actually register the prosthetic leg. And sadly, it wasn't duct tape.
Guys, I'm getting taped.
So I'm really happy with this model because last time, if you remember, I had to hang onto the tables to walk around. This time I didn't need any assistance, but it was like learning how to walk again. Now would a helmet be a good idea? Yes. Would I end up in the hospital if I fell over? Yeah, most likely. Would I do this again? Most definitely. We had a little time, so we thought, why don't we try going down the stairs? So we did do that, and surprisingly, we did manage to make it down like halfway. The problem was I didn't know how to get back up, but nonetheless, I see that as a win. Just for fun, here is a side-by-side of me walking normally and with the prosthetic. So after 1 hour of breaking the equipment and totally messing around, it's time we head back to school and do some testing ourselves.
Tomorrow.
Back at school, and guys, look, we've got so much stuff. This is the bag this time. It doesn't look a lot, but this is the bag that has a lot. So, cameraman, this is what's in here. We have 4 boxes. We have model 1. Then we have model number 2. Then we have model number 3. I don't know what this is. I think it's model number 4. I don't know what this is. Stuff is in the socket. I think this is where a lot of stuff happens. I think this is model number 4. Socket number 2. I don't know what socket version number 2. Then we have model number 1. And then guess what's in here? More keys. So this is like another. I think this is. And then this is the very first model. And then no socket. But yeah, this is the foot. So yeah, this is the full spread, and we're going to go over all the foot models and progressions from the first prototype to our very last prototype. This is the very first model. As you can see, it's very simple, and the way that we connected it was we used a PVC 3/4 T and we 3D printed some pieces to go in. The problem with the printing was it did not fit, so if you can see around this edge here, we actually had to sand off a lot of it and it cracked. This is the second iteration, very much the same thing. This one actually fell out and broke. The idea was we had a suspension in here. And the cool thing with this suspension was it tried to imitate the ankle movement, the shock absorbing, so if you can see here, it actually goes up and down, which I think was really cool. Model number 3. So this is when we tried to experiment with the material characteristics. This one was a very simple model. It has a spring, so this was similar to model number 2. And if you push on this, the spring should work. The problem was we didn't know how to secure the spring in here. And once again, a lot of sanding. Guess what's happening next? Model number 4. So this is model number 4. Similar to model number 3, we actually wanted this piece to be flexible. This model was really clean, but look what happened. It broke. So if you look in here, there's a big crack right there. And we were just testing it. We pressed our hand on it and it made the crunch. You can hear it. So this leads us to the current model, and this is actually model 5 and model 6. So what I love about this model is we actually fine fitted the pieces. So last time we actually modeled the hole to fit exactly the dimensions. This time I gave some wiggle room for extra 2 millimeters on the diameter. The PVC-T fits perfectly, the screw holes went in perfectly, and we tried to model this similar to a foot. So we bent the edges to try to simulate the rocking motion of the foot, so it goes down, contact and push off, which is really nice. And this is the final copy. this model, it actually looks like a shoe, kind of like Jordan's in a way. We have our very cool high friction, I don't even know, sticky thing. So now when you walk, guess what happens? Doesn't move, pipe goes in perfectly, and screw goes. And now we have our socket models. So we actually have 4 iterations of this. It all started with the 90 degree, and there's 2 straps that would wrap around your calf muscle. Similarly, we have the 35 degree. So we wanted to experiment with the different angles on here. I think this was really fun to test out. That led us to upgrade our prototype to one with a sidewall. How did I get this cool design? It was an accident. I actually don't even know how. It just looks cool. This is a 90 degree because we found 90 degree was the optimal angle for the leg after a lot of testing. It's heavily padded, and your knee would rest up against here and your calf would go around here. Final sockets. We did a combination of the previous 3. We actually, instead of having a sidewall, we had a flexible sidewall. This is a big piece of foam, and we actually duct taped some Velcro to this. And the reason is we want this to form fit to almost anybody, to be accessible. So 4 straps to secure and make sure that the prosthetic doesn't come off. And once we assemble, our PVC shaft is going to go right into there. This was how we assembled the first foot. So we actually had a shaft, and I like to call these grenade pins. They're just quick release pins, and these would actually go into holes that we did drill here. And the reason why is during testing we didn't want to use too much power tools to like just unscrew and adjust the size. We got rubber bands to try to connect everything together so it actually lock into place. So for our very first prototypes, we had the foot, and in the channel we put a spring. And how it worked was we would get our shaft, insert it, then we get the quick release pin. There you go. So now if you look at this, it actually has a suspension and it holds. And once everything's assembled, this is model 1. So this is how the whole darn thing looked like. I can't even fit it on the frame because it's massive.
I would basically
Welcome model number 2. So this is so stable. As you can see, I didn't have to hold this model up to actually show it. This thing kept falling over. So we tried to increase the base. So the width of this is around 10 centimeters. In contrast, this was only 5, so we doubled it. And we removed the shock because we wanted this to be a very, very simple leg that can actually function, because the more complex something is, the more rattling and less stability.
So on the topic of stability,
Guys, don't ever leave science students unattended. Look what they're doing. What are they doing? They're putting...
I almost fell.
Okay. They want to do 2 prosthetic legs. Oh my god.
Okay. I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Taking deep breaths. Oh no. Man down. Man.
It doesn't have anything to do.
On your marks, get set, go.
I guess do it.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh my god. It's close. It's close. Rayon is the winner. Oh my god, he didn't cheat this time. Oh my god.
Actually,
Carson, you put the camera down.
so pretty much that sums up the second part of the 3-part series on the prosthetic leg development, and the next time you'll see us is when we are at presentation day.